Hey guys, what's going on? It's Expeditions with Matt here, back for another vlog. I'm gonna go ahead and mute my phone because my friends are arguing about something stupid. They're trying to decide where to get together for this summer, and one of my friends thinks that we should go to this guy's house. My friend R, we'll give him a name, wants to go to my friend Jay's house, since he's never been to Jay's house for as long as they've known each other, and Jay insists that their house isn't presentable, but R doesn't care. And R and Jay, RJ, they have historically not gotten along quite well. But that's not relevant. Today I'm gonna give you kind of a teaser for something that's coming up soon, something that I'm just getting ready to work on. So, I'll let you look at my monitors here. So, I found a good torrent for Sony Vegas 10, and to me it looks basically the same as 13, so I don't really care. I'm just glad I didn't get a virus. But I'm putting it on here because I find using it on my laptop more and more convenient, or more and more inconvenient, since I barely use my laptop anymore. At least, I use it in school, but not here. Anything that's on there, sooner or later, I hope to have on my desktop. And the whole two monitors thing makes switching back and forth not practical anymore. If I wanted to do that again, I'd need to spend more money, and I'm a cheapskate, so I don't want to. Oh, sorry, my nose is very itchy. So what is it that I'm going to be working on? So most of you probably won't have heard of it. Probably won't have heard of this. That's fine. It's kind of a local thing for me, but I think the best place to start is a meme I made last year. Let me go ahead and find it. Yeah, everything starts with a meme I made. If I can get my computer to cooperate. Not that one, not that one, not that one. Oh, I have the file named. Alright. So, I haven't worn this hat for a while. I still have it around here somewhere. There it is. So this is the hat in question, and that's how you know this post is associated with me. I'm sure most of you are familiar with this I sleep real stuff meme. It's kind of dead now, but when I made this, it was pretty relevant. Let's just look at the date. August 1st, 2017. So, I don't really care about national politics. That's not something I care about. What I do care about is local politics that affect me. So this local railroad in particular is the Indiana Transportation Museum. And over the past 2 to 3 years, there's been a lot of drama. I feel like drama is a strange word because you mostly associate it with high school and middle school gossip. But I feel like drama is the only appropriate word. They've been evicted from their current location in Noblesville, and that's kind of a big deal to me because I've visited this museum since I was a baby. My brother has visited this museum since he's lived here in the Indianapolis, Noblesville area. And it's a big deal to my family, and of course I'll go into this more later. The point I'm trying to make is I'm going to be making a sort of documentary on the events surrounding the Transportation Museum, or just ITM as we normally refer to it as. Most of the drama is over, but I remembered it today because we crossed over there are railroad tracks when just driving around. And that made me think, I think it's time that I need something to talk about, I need something to do for my channel, so I feel like this is a good project. So I'm gonna guess it's gonna take me about 1 to 2 weeks for this to be done. I have to do some digging around on the Wayback Machine because ITM has updated their website, so their news postings are gone. I have to use their archive site, which luckily someone has done. I don't know who, but in case you're watching, thank you. This video, or the documentary I'm making, would basically be impossible without it. So moving on from that, we'll talk about something a little more relevant to today. Today I sold more crap. I sold a calculator for $60 and I'm pretty psyched. So I'm definitely gonna try and find more calculators to sell. Graphing calculators, not the little pocket ones. Yes, it's right there. I'm sure it only looks like a regular package, and I guess that's all it really is. But what else did I do today? Well, I had a fantastic morning. I woke up at around 10:30, 10 o'clock to have my mom and some old guy wearing sunglasses I didn't know standing over me. And it's like, hey, it's morning. Well, they didn't say, hey, it's morning, but that was my rude wake up. In fact, the guy was our plumber. You can't see it here now, but this spot on the floor was getting wet for some reason. And there's a pipe in the ceiling. I don't feel like pulling the ceiling tiles up because it just makes a mess. But there's a pipe in the ceiling that goes to one of those faucets outside your house that you put your hose into. And like everything else in this house, it seems to have been made by amateurs, and we think it was causing a leak that was, for some reason, ending up here, even though the pipe was in this region. So that's maybe a yard away. So yeah, I'm waking up to my mom piling stuff on my bed, and some old guy looking in my ceiling. I guess he wasn't that old, but I don't know, I was half awake, a little annoyed. Also, I don't sleep with a shirt on, so that was fantastic. This guy is looking at me. Well, he wasn't really looking at me, but I was in his presence, or he was in my presence. I'm not sure which one makes more sense. So after that, my main event today was that I tried to offload a bunch of stuff that I just don't need anymore. So I made 3 different trips and was disappointed on every trip. I made 4 different trips, 3 of which I was hoping to make money off of, and those 3 trips I was disappointed on. So what did I do? I just dumped a bunch of stuff that I was planning to sell at a garage sale, or sell on eBay, but I wanted to get rid of immediately because it was taking up too much space, and I just knew it wasn't going to be worth that much money on eBay, and hoping I could get stuff from other places. So first I went to Half Price Books with a big box of books, and I had to wait like an hour for them to look at all my books, because apparently that's the new hip thing to do, is bring all your books to Half Price Books and get them auctioned off at a snail's pace. So they offered me $75 for these books, and well, how many books were there? I would say there was maybe 40 books, 45, and maybe 20 of those books they didn't even want money for. And some of them were understandable. A few of them were school books that I had written in. A few of them were like old textbooks that were basically worthless, like outdated textbooks. They get replaced. The whole clearly, the newest textbook is the best sort of thing. a few, one or two like old collectible books that I thought they might want. They didn't want it. So I just left it with them because bringing stuff back that I've had trouble selling is the last thing I need to do. It's the last thing I want to do. But I had to end up doing that at the next two places. First place was a store called Disc Replay or something. I don't really remember the name now. And it's in Castleton. Oh wait, no, first, or after I went to Half Price Books, we went to my high school and dropped off all these paintings and frames I don't need anymore. I thought my art teacher might need them more than I do. So I didn't get paid for that. I wasn't expecting to get paid for that, but I got rid of a big box of stuff that was taking up a bunch of space, so that made me happy. So then we drive over to Castleton. There wasn't, we go over to Castleton, I go inside, and there's another wait for my stuff. So, but unlike the Half Price Books, the game store allows me to leave while they check my prices. So, okay, I'll leave and come back. We go to a camera store. It's called Robert's Cameras or something. It's a local chain here in Indianapolis. I have this whole container of cameras that I don't want. And since I've already gone there and you can still see it, you can probably guess they didn't want any. They didn't want a single one. Now, I can understand because, I mean, there's some archaic technology in here. There's a VHS camcorder, the full-sized VHS tapes for a camcorder. There's VHS-C camcorders, which are about the size of a deck of cards. The little tapes. They work just like real VHS tapes, but they're really small, and they're kind of cute. A bunch of really cheap film cameras. They're basically not any better than those disposable film cameras you used to be able to get like at CVS, except they're reusable. Some really old... Oh wait, why am I talking about it? I can just show you. I get some stuff here. That little green chair is the Lego chair. It was my brother's favorite chair to sit on while building Legos, even when he was in high school. So here's the VHS, the full-size VHS camcorder. I'm not gonna bother taking it out. You can probably tell though from how big the case is of how big the camera is. Alright. So here we've got, oh, this one's a good one. This is your archaic digital camera. It uses floppy disks. So it says here, a 1.3 megapixels. I don't know what the file size would end up being. I guess I could try and find out because it says 1280 by 960 is the image size. But this is beefy for a point-and-shoot digital camera. I found another, these are called, I think they're called Sony Mavicas. I found another Sony Mavica at Goodwill that uses mini CDs, basically the GameCube discs. And I thought it was fascinating that you put a CD, not a memory card, a CD inside a camera. And then you could just plop that CD directly into your computer. I thought that was really cool. I ended up selling it for less money than I paid for it because I had to buy a new battery for it and I had to buy more CDs for it. And I ended up selling it for less than the money I spent on it. But I thought it was a really cool camera, and whoever bought it is probably really happy taking pictures on their CDs. Oh, here's another VHS camcorder. Ugh. It's heavy. And there's something stuck on it. There we go. So, I'd say this weighs a good 10 pounds. There's a shoulder strap there, so you're not only holding it like this. I don't know if it works or not because I don't have a way to charge it. And a reoccurring theme with all of these camcorders is that the batteries are dead. Rechargeable batteries, like the ones that go in your camera, will go bad after 10 to 15 years. And since all of these cameras stopped being relevant about 10 years ago, their batteries are all dead. So they still work, because some of them, when you take the battery off, you can plug the charger into the camera directly. So if your battery is dead, you can just carry around your camera as long as you're connected to the charger. So I know that a bunch of these cameras still work. And I think they're pretty cool, because it's like looking like this is the sort of camera my dad had before we got our actual camcorder, a digital one, and we kind of stopped using it. If I can take the time to convert a VHS tape into any sort of video file, I'm going to show you guys like a piece of history from from 10 years ago. I'm going to keep it a secret because it's kind of strange that we still have it, but it's important to me, it's important to my brother, and I think you guys should see it at some point. I will try to find that tape soon and see what I can do about converting it into a video file. So, oh, here's a good one. See, this is basically your disposable film camera, except that you can reuse it. I think the only two cameras that are of any worth are this one, which looks kind of intimidating. It's one of the early ancestors of Polaroid cameras. It is a Polaroid camera, and here, let me just hold this with my crotch, or really my knees. How do I do this? There we go. This is an instant film type camera, so you just tear the photo out and boom, it's there. Except it weighs 5 to 10 pounds. I think it's still pretty cool, but I couldn't sell it. I had too much trouble selling it, decided it wasn't worth it. Also, it's kind of a pain to figure out how to close, and then it pinches your fingers. The other camera of worth in here is this Minolta XGA. So while I was at the camera store, I was looking around their used cameras and found a Minolta XGM, which is basically the same thing, in their display cabinet. So I was thinking that one they were going to at least give me a few dollars for. Unfortunately, I may have broke it a little bit. I loaded a roll of film into it to see if I could get it to work, and it doesn't. I can't push the shutter button. I don't think it has anything to do with me missing the lens, because I've attached the lens and it still doesn't work. So maybe he realized that it's busted and decided not to buy it. So I got stuck with all these cameras again. At some point we're going to have a garage sale, and I hope to get rid of a few of them. I'm going to try posting them on eBay again. I had limited success on selling these cameras. In fact, the only camera, only not reasonable camera that I've sold on eBay was the last one I expected to sell. If you've ever been to a basketball game or any sort of sports games, you will know the large types of cameras that the film crew uses to put it on TV or up on the big screen. That was the kind of camera I was able to sell. It was too large. I think it was too large to be mailed. Oh, I guess if I really, really wanted to, I could have mailed it. But somehow, some guy in the Indianapolis area wanted it because he was making a movie. And he wanted it as a prop, because I had no idea how to test it. had cords and stuff I didn't recognize. That was the only camera I managed to sell out of, like, this vast collection of crappy cameras. Maybe I've sold a couple others that I don't remember, because eBay eventually deletes your sale records after a while. I guess maybe it's to promote you, like, oh crap, I haven't sold anything in forever, I better start selling again. Or maybe my account was just inactive and they started shutting things down. But I have had terrible luck selling cameras on eBay. Do not try it. Unless they're more recent point-and-shoot cameras, quality 35mm cameras, or, you know, your standard SLR, single lens reflex, I think that's SLR cameras. So, my mom was tired, I was frustrated, we went back to the house, and she said we might go out for pizza, because the pizza place I want to go to is out by the game store, because we're still waiting for our money. They changed their mind. She gets frustrated with the construction and how nothing in this house works, and I think she went to bed early. So I had my dad drive me back out to this game store. I brought in this tin this tin of stuff here. I saw on their website that they accept iHomes and stuff, but I have a feeling that their website is a bit outdated because they turned them away, even though they're perfectly functional. It also looks like I didn't get rid of a lot of my games. In fact, I only got rid of 2 of them, and I got a whopping 75 cents. Not 75 cents each, 75 cents for both games. Yeah, I was annoyed, but I've had bad luck selling PS2 games on eBay as well. So I wasn't going to make the same mistake that I made at Half Price Books and give them all of the books that they didn't want. There were so many books there that they didn't want that I couldn't be bothered to bring them back home, because I've brought enough stuff home that I can't sell. I want to go back. I want to go out to Goodwill and these places to get more stuff, but I'm really going to buy things that I know I can sell, because I'm seeing now what sells. Home office software sells, mostly the newer editions like 2007, Microsoft Office 2007 and onwards. DS games sell. All 3 of mine have either sold or been bidded on already, so I know they will sell. My calculator sold in an hour. The hour I was going back to the game store. When I got back, it had sold. So I'm going to look for more calculators, more home office software. These CDs don't take up that much space, and if I choose which ones I think will sell, I think I'll become a little smarter with that and stuff like that. So that was really about it, and that's really all I had on my mind. I mainly wanted to make this video to let you guys know about this new project, or this new video about the train museum that I'm doing. I'm actually kind of excited about it because, again, the museum is pretty important to me, and I think other people should know about it. But that's all I've got for now, so I'll see you guys later. Bye.